The all-time leading scorer in program history, Emma Kurowski guided Massachusetts women's soccer to a pair of NCAA tournament appearances and to the 1997 A-10 championship.
It truly is an honor to be here today to induct Emma into the 2016 UMass Hall of Fame. If you could indulge me for 1 minute, my daughter is here, Kelsey. And she's a senior here at UMass through the Eisenberg School, and captain of the cheerleading team, and also president of Delta Sigma Pi. I always screw it up. And I've got to tell you, just being here tonight and listening to people and listening to memories and meeting my good friend Russ over there, who was in the past Hall of Fame, you people have done a tremendous job in making this one of the best universities in the country. And I thank you. So I'm going to tell you the truth. So Emma has always affectionately called me Uncle Kenny. I'm not really her uncle. We come from a very small town, so there's a good chance I might be. When you grow up in a small town like ours, you look for heroes. And Emma didn't have to look very far. She actually slept in the next room over. And her hero growing up and until this day is her sister Jenna, who should be giving this speech, but does not like to stand up here in front of public. But Jenna, in her own right, was a tremendous soccer player. And it's funny how the two worlds got connected, not only as sisters, they were players on the same team in high school, but Jenna ended up going to Dartmouth on a full scholarship for soccer, and they played once in 1996. And Jenna kept telling her teammates, watch out for this girl, Emma. And I'm not sure she ever shared the fact that Emma was her sister. And she kept saying, watch out for this girl, Emma. So, the game starts, all the defenders are trying to point out, this Emma girl, and they shut her down. And ironically, Jenna scores the 2 goals to win the game. And in the paper the next day, Emma is quoted as saying, if I have to lose, I don't mind losing to my sister Jenna. I don't think that's true, because I've known Emma since she was very, very young and very, very competitive, and she doesn't like to lose to anybody. So she's got payback in mind that she takes Jenna's 2 kids, both twin boys, great kids, and she takes them out for ice cream as much as she can and then gives them back. So Emma had the benefit of growing up on a street of all boys. So that's kind of where she got the competitive nature. And a lot of the boys within her, on her street, actually played different sports collegiately. And admittedly, she would say that, she was kind of the runt of the litter in the neighborhood. And she would always, want to tag along with all the guys playing football, soccer, tiddlywinks. It didn't matter. She just wanted to compete. And, they would reluctantly take her along. But I think that's where she sort of got her core. And 2 of those guys that she hung around with, the Azadorian cousins, they really weren't her cousins, but we come from a very small family. Oh, sorry, I used that one already. Steve actually had a very great career here at UMass, and brother Ricky actually got drafted right out of high school, #1 pick for the Boston Red Sox. So that's quite an upbringing. I remember the first time I saw Emma play. I had seen Jenna play, and 3 years older, just a tremendous player with tremendous skills. And people kept saying, well, Jenna's good, but wait till you see Emma. And I'm like, okay, well, where is this kid Emma? So one day I'm at the soccer fields, and Emma shows up, and she's this tall, she's, this thin, and the bun up, she had the hair up in the bun, and she comes out with big bright eyes, and she's clearly smaller than anybody else on the team. And I remember turning to legendary coach in our neck of the woods, Martin Bowden, and saying, are you kidding me? This is Emma Kurowski? And then he's got the English accent, and he says, "Bloody hell it is. Wait till you see her." And about 2 seconds later, I understood exactly why everybody was saying what a great player she was. And I think it's not only the skill set that Emma displayed, but she's so tough. And I don't think anybody realized how tough she is, when she was a little kid to today. And it was only until I met Grandma LaChapelle that I realized where she got that toughness from. Emma's always good, too, that she will offer her opinion. Right, Mom? Yes. In high school, I don't think a lot of people know this, but in high school, and really till today, Emma is the all-time leading scorer in Massachusetts history with 185 goals and still holds the record. She played with some tremendous players, not only in high school and in college. Besides Jenna and herself, she also played with a lady in our town, Deb Flaherty, who went to University of Michigan on a full scholarship, also an All-American. So you can imagine, again, having a very small town with 3 All-Americans on a team. And out of the 11 players on the field, 9 of them got Division I scholarships to play soccer. So it was just quite an accomplishment. And the reason why I bring that up, to show off our town of Sutton, but also to tell you, Emma was the superstar of stars. I mean, truly one of the best players to ever come out of Sutton. The ironic part about it is Emma probably could have scored 3 times as many goals. She played for a very compassionate coach, Ann Licapoli. And I know, Emma, you two had a very special bond. And I wish she was here tonight. Unfortunately, last year, Coach Licapoli succumbed to cancer after a long, brave fight. But I know she's here. Distractions come easy for a kid coming from a small school to come to the metropolis of UMass. And the distraction really for Emma was soccer. And it's kind of interesting to say it that way because entering her freshman year, tragedy struck her, unfortunately, when the rock of her life, the person who never missed a game, probably the most influential person along with her mother, Sharon, passed away. Her father, Keith, a remarkable person, just a remarkable father, was there all the time, got diagnosed with brain cancer, and within 2 weeks had passed. This was right after she started. Shortly after that, she had another tragedy in the family where the Kurowski home burned down and was destroyed. And then as everything was sort of coming together again and she can concentrate on soccer and their athletics and academics, a good friend and teammate, Jenica Janilla, was killed during a ski accident. But through it all, she persevered and showed everyone that she hadn't lost her fight to overcome, to win, and to succeed. And she did just that not only in soccer and on the athletic field, but also in the classroom. And I hope people realize that she wasn't just a great soccer player. She was very good academically. Today, she has the greatest job in the world. I got to tell you, I'm jealous. She works for ESPN as a production control person, manager, and hangs around with all of the ESPN guys. If you want to see them, they're all on the Facebook page that Emma has. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce 2015 Hall of Fame inductee, Emma Kurowski.
Thank you, Kenny. You promised you wouldn't make me cry, but you did a little bit, but I forgive you. Kenny himself is a Hall of Famer soccer player from Clark University, so he's no stranger to this type of event. First off, I'd like to say thank you to Jason Germain for all the hard work you put into making this night possible for everyone and for answering all my annoying questions and emails for the last few months. If we're ever hiring a new event coordinator at ESPN, you'll be the first person I call. Although it's obvious how passionate you are about UMass, so it'd probably be a tough sell. Thank you so much to Ryan, Mr. Burke, and the UMass Hall of Fame committee, and everyone who voted for and nominated me. It was an unexpected and awesome surprise to get the phone call last year saying that I had been selected out of the amazing athletes you had to choose from throughout the years. It's just a huge honor to be recognized as one of the best at a university that had so many worthy, world-class athletes in so many different sports. Also, I'd like to congratulate the 4 other inductees tonight, Doug, Lisa, Kelly, and Bubba, on their obviously wildly successful athletic careers and accomplishments in their time here at UMass. Of course, thank you to Coach Rudy and all of my former teammates during my 4 years of playing here, many of whom are scattered all over the country now, but thanks to social media, we still are able to keep in touch and see what's going on in each other's lives. Thank you to current coach Ed Matz and his assistant Sid for taking the time to attend the ceremony tonight to show their support. Coach Matz, who I had never met before today, also reached out to congratulate me earlier this week on behalf of the entire UMass soccer family, which I really appreciated, so thank you again. Part of the reason why I ended up choosing to come to UMass was because my dad, who passed away unexpectedly during my senior year of high school, got to meet Coach Rudy, who drove out to my house during the recruiting process. I knew my dad was impressed that he took the time to come meet him and my family and to show that much interest in me as a soccer player and potential student athlete. So when it came time to choose a school, that home visit and Coach Rudy meeting my dad before he passed really stuck with me. I thought it'd be an honor playing for such a successful coach, historically great women's soccer college program, and I also love the thought of representing my home state for 4 years playing at UMass. And speaking of home, more than anything else, I'd like to thank all the people at home. My family, grandparents, especially my grandpa LaChapelle, who rarely missed a home game and sort of took over the dad duties during my college career. Aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, neighborhood kids I grew up with, former coaches and teammates at every level, town, club, high school, whose unconditional support, love, and encouragement gave me the tools, confidence, and skills I needed to make it to and be successful here at UMass. If it weren't for my older sister, Jenna, who I wanted to be just like and do everything she was doing, I may not have even ever played soccer. She started playing when she was 4 years old, and by the time I was that age, I knew I wanted to play too, so I could follow in her footsteps and hopefully someday be just like her. She really blazed a trail for not only myself, but so many other female soccer players in our town, on our club team, and at our high school. She went on to eventually be an All-American at Dartmouth College in New Hampshire, so I'd say I had a pretty good role model. I'd also like to thank my younger brother Adam, or Stiggs as we lovingly call him, who really helped me hone my soccer skills through countless hours of playing hallway and living room soccer in the house growing up. Sorry, Mom, for everything we broke. I think at one point every decoration she had was held together by Scotch tape. I'm convinced that that's where my creativity and foot skills on the soccer field really came from. Thinking up new ways to continuously beat someone one-on-one in a 3-foot-wide hallway is pretty tough, so when it got out on a full-size field and had all that space to work with, it seemed easy to beat defenders. So thank you, Stiggs, for always being up for a game and providing me with a constant practice partner at home. And of course, saving the best for last, I'd like to thank my mom and dad for all their encouragement, support, and countless thankless hours of driving us to and from practices, games, and tournaments up and down the eastern seaboard for years and years. If it weren't for both of you, and your dedication and commitment to all 3 of us kids and Dad's athletic genes, there's no way I'd be standing up here today accepting this honor. You guys gave me everything I needed to be as successful as I wanted to be on the soccer field and in life. Like Kevin Durant once said, you're the real MVP. Especially my dad, who unfortunately never got to see me play at UMass, but he, more than anyone, was my biggest supporter, biggest fan, and the driving force behind any success I had throughout every level of my soccer career. So in closing, I'd like to say thank you again to the Hall of Fame committee, Jason, Ryan, and everyone who made tonight's events possible. It's truly an honor to know that the blood, sweat, and tears I put into my 4-year soccer career here at UMass 15-plus years ago was and is still relevant enough to be recognized tonight and will now be remembered forever in the George Trigger Burke UMass Hall of Fame. Thank you.